Let's talk for the next few minutes. Let's have, a discussion on the power of authenticity. Authenticity, being authentic. Usually, the myth of being infallible or infallibility is usually built around leaders and around prominent people in society, achievers, successful people. Now, the problem is that society always creates its heroes, its idols, and always, wants to venerate them. And for that reason, we don't like to believe that they are fallible or that they can be vulnerable. Now, the confidence and the passion, with which leaders speak and act a lot of times would usually give people the impression that they are infallible. If you have someone who's a public speaker, you expect that he has mastered, certain nuances that, like expressions that we commonly generally make. And you don't hear him make such expressions when he's, when he's speaking to a public or a platform. And so you assume that this individual must be flawless. Yet, the thing that many of us fail to realize is that the confidence of leaders comes from their experiences, whether good or bad. It comes from their weaknesses. It comes from their strengths. It comes from the things that they have been through. That is what makes them confident. The things they have learned, the things, life has taught them, challenges they have faced, all right? The successes and the failures that they have experienced. Listen to me. There is no man on earth who is infallible. Every Goliath has a chink somewhere in his armor. And we need to understand that. Now, the reason why a lot of highly successful people don't want to publicly admit the areas of vulnerability are just because they don't want to lose face. The fear of losing face or losing their reputation or their power to influence other people. Why? Because of the expectations that these other individuals have set around them. So they love, people love them with a particular image. And so to hear that they are anything other than that stereotype image usually would bring, a sense of familiarity, a sense of, I can almost even say some devaluation. And that's usually the fear, even though it is not necessarily true. So society always loves its enigmas and wants to keep them that way. The second reason why a lot of highly successful people don't like to appear vulnerable, or let me use the word human, all right, is because vulnerability may look like it could lead to familiarity. It could lead to familiarity. However, one of the things that every leader must understand, or every person actually, if you really want to be successful and remain successful, all right, and remain relevant to people, authenticity connects you with people and helps to build compassion. So, two critical things: the ability to connect and the compassion that should come from the heart of leadership. Those are two things that authenticity helps you to accomplish. Let's look at the word authentic. All right? Let's look at the word authentic as an acronym. The A stands for approachable. So, an authentic leader should be approachable. Accessibility, very important. The U stands for being unashamed. All right? Being unassuming, no pretenses. You're modest. You have no air of arrogance. So it doesn't matter what you have accomplished, you don't carry yourself with arrogance. Now you carry yourself with confidence, but not arrogance. This is so important. I'm going to talk about confidence in a bit. You're not ashamed. All right? That means you are willing to be vulnerable. And because you are not ashamed, you are teachable. You are teachable. To be authentic means teachability. It means you're willing to learn. You're willing to self-correct. You're willing to correct yourself when you discover that you were wrong on a particular issue. There are a lot of people out there. Once they have said something, it does not matter what they find out later. They will not come back to let the people who follow them or who believe in them or who have idolized them, all right, who venerate them, they don't want to come back and tell them, I was wrong. The H stands for honesty. Authentic people are honest. When they make mistakes, they are willing to apologize where there is a need to. They're willing to correct those mistakes. And if they don't know something, they will tell you they don't know. All right? Because they're human. And what that means also is that, they can afford to be transparent. And of course, H stands for empathy. They're empathetic. Authentic leaders have a level of empathy that is uncommon. Authentic leaders are networkers. They're very good connectors. And how do they connect with people? Common stories. They share common bonds with the people. See, this was the secret of Jesus Christ when he was alive. The Bible says that, the common people heard him gladly. And in another place, it said that the people, went after him because, he spoke in a way that they could resonate with, they could connect with, that resonated with them. They could connect with the way he spoke, unlike the way the Pharisees and the Sadducees spoke or connected with them. An authentic leader is intuitive. An authentic personality has intuition. And what do I mean by that? There's something about their experiences in life that have succeeded in sharpening their perception and their responses to situations, to life issues. So they can perceive things faster because they've been through it. They've been through it. And so, the Bible describes Jesus and said that, he is our high priest, not because not because he came from heaven, but because he has gone through similar experiences like us. Yet he was able to navigate the same waters without sinning. And so for that reason, he was able to take our place. All right? He was able to identify with us because he went through what we all go through. And then, of course, there is the issue of, I think I omitted a letter, T. Trustworthy, right? Trustworthy. You want to be significant, people must learn to trust you. You don't look for people to trust you, all right? People must decide to trust you. And so that means there is a level of personality that you project. There's a level of, being natural, being yourself, being at peace with who you are, that people look at. And when you speak and they are able to connect with you, they can trust you. They can take your word to the bank. And of course, the final letter there is the letter C, which has to do with confidence. Confidence. What builds confidence in the authentic leader? The experiences he's been through, the knowledge he has acquired, the relationships he has built, the people that he has had to deal with from time to time. And so he has a lot of stories to tell. He speaks from a position of authority that is born out of the crucible of experience. With authentic leaders, you know where you stand in your relationship with them. The world loves people who like to sugarcoat stuff, who will like things presented in a particular way that suits our narrative of who our leader, who our idol, our mentor, our motivator is. But authentic leaders would use their experiences on the journey of life to chart a less stressful pathway for others who may be traveling along the same or similar routes. So when an authentic person shows you how he got to where he is, you will understand. By the time he has described challenges that are similar to what you're currently going through and how he overcame them, what that does in you, the listener or the hearer, is that it builds up confidence in you. It builds up inspiration. It builds up hope in you that if he could do it, then you too have hope. There is no better way to connect with people, everyday people, that you will have encounters with than being your real, authentic self. Remember, the sky is not your limit. God is.